I'm excited to be headed to San Diego on November 4th and 5th this year for the ERE Recruiting Innovation Summit. This event always brings together the best in talent acquisition, recruiting leaders, HR executives, HR tech, people that are really shaping where this industry is going. It's more than just a pitch fest. I mean, this is where actual learning comes in. They've been around for 30 years. It's a great event at San Diego in November. And you're going to have some excellent speakers, demonstrations. We have pin.com there. Joel Loudry will be there. You'll have the team from ERE there, Jim Stroud. These are people that have been shaping the industry this decade and really where it's going in terms of AI and the blend with AI and recruiters and all that good stuff. I went in April this year and it was a transformative experience. We had a great time with Digital Recruiter booth and speaking and just people learning about automation and content and AI tools. It was just really cool event. So I'll be an official content partner representing Digital Recruiter. So we're going to be capturing videos, doing man on the street, interviewing the speakers, the sponsors, really getting a pulse on the action. So if you're in talent acquisition, if you're agency recruiter, this is the place to be on November 4th and 5th. Go meet your peers in person, learn from them. There's virtual tickets, there's in-person events. It's an awesome time. And so please enjoy our ERE podcast series so it gets you a glimpse of all the people that are going to be at ERE, and we'd love to see you there. I am joined by a very special guest on this episode of the ERE Recruiting Innovation podcast series, hosted by me, Clark Wilcox, founder of Digital Recruiter. And right now I have the MC of the event, the legendary Brian Fink. How are you, my friend?
I'm pretty good. You can call me legendary again. Like, that's good for the ego. That's good for the hair. It makes it stand up and get a little spikier for this event.
Well, I mean, anytime your name comes up, people get a smile on their face, and you have obviously fantastic energy, and you know what you're doing, and you've made many talents. You've been at all the big names, right? Twitter, McAfee, Amazon, but now you're one of us, right?
I am. I'm on the right side of history now. I am helping build organizations at scale like you and your team do, Clark. So thank you, and for the warm welcome to the light side.
No, it's great, and I'm happy for you. I think it's been long overdue. So talk to me. You're the MC for the event. Let's just start. Like, what are you excited about? ERE and being the MC.
Okay, so what am I excited about and being the MC? Those are two different things. First, as a practitioner, I get to attend this event and I get to mingle with upwards of 200 individuals that are really there and to learn and are passionate about expanding what we do as practitioners, right? What we do to bring opportunity to individuals, what we do to bring opportunity to scale organizations. So I'm excited about that. And I'm excited about being at the front of the room so I can call people out and say, what are you looking for? How can we help you get there? That's the power of the ERE community. And that's sometimes overlooked, is that great conversations take place at the front of the room, but they also take place in all the different corridors of the room where we can have those intimate conversations about what's troubling you, what's keeping you up at night, what hard searches you're doing. I mean, you have got mentors in the building. You have people like Shally Steckrell, who is the godfather of sourcing. I think you had Shally on earlier this week. Shally, very humble at what he does and helping people 10x who they are and their sourcing abilities. And then from sourcing abilities, you've got Larry Hernandez, who's going to be there as well. And I'm most excited about Larry because Larry's running not one, but two sessions, right? And about that session, he's going to get into how you can optimize your desk using artificial intelligence, using agentic recruiting. We're not talking about bolting on another tool. We're not talking about getting another application. We're talking about using what you know and going further and faster than you've ever gone before. And then the fundamentals and taking them next level. Chris Carver, Aquaman, is going to be in the building, and he is going to have a great conversation on all the nuances that you utilize from a Boolean perspective and how you can inject Boolean into the search, into your search habits today using agentic or using machine learning and using what's the word I'm looking for? I'm looking for LLMs and using different browsers is something I'm super passionate about, and I'm going to get the opportunity to collaborate with him one-on-one, right? So that's just a little bit of a sample of some of the things that I'm excited about. You know, I'm really grateful to Josh and David for letting me be the host and to bring this energy to the crowd. I'm also excited that I'm going to be joined by people like you, people like Joel Lalji, people like JCK, Jenny Cody Kangas, for those of you who are not down with the abbreviation. Great panels. There's going to be an excellent keynote. The speaker, the keynote speaker is actually somebody who I've dialed into their books. I've dialed into their podcast. He's coming out of the London School of Economics. And as we talk as recruiters about what the future of recruiting really looks like, about how we're going to marry individuals to careers and how we're going to help them make those hard decisions, I really think that this is going to be a very powerful conversation. I think that this is going to be an exceptional opportunity for people, not just to, like I said, see people at the front of the room, but to walk the room and to get the feel. I mean, large conferences, you kind of get lost in a sea of sameness, right? But at ERE, everybody gets to stand out. Everybody gets to be an individual. This is really masterful in terms of who's going to be there, how this is going to bring individuals together from brands like DoorDash, Capital One, Netflix, Stripe, Amazon. It's going to be big. It's going to be aggressive. It's going to be ridiculous. And Daniel Susskind is the keynote speaker that I meant to bring out there. I apologize. I like talk like everybody knew who Daniel Susskind was. Dr. Daniel.
Yeah, you gotta get it right. Get it right.
The doctor is in the house. There are also going to be some really interesting conversations around the candidate journey. Allison Cruz is going to host those. If you haven't seen Mark Hamill present, that's somebody you're going to want to be in the room with. I've had the opportunity to collaborate with him on different custom search engines. Clark, my custom search engine. Everybody knows it. It's the absolute best way to index LinkedIn. And I'm going to be showing people probably in the hallways how to build custom search engines, right? I think this is going to be a myriad of mayhem.
You get me jacked up, man. Like, this is great. I was already excited to go, and I knew that this conversation would light a fire even more under me. It already has. So you're the best advocate for this. I think you nailed all of it, but the big conference to where there's just thousands and thousands versus like a few hundred, when you're seeing people, like, you can see the same face and not just see someone once and then never see them again over the next couple of days. I think that's where you build a rapport quicker, right? Those, partnerships, the relationships, like, there's a little bit more entrenched there. So you get a ton more value personally out of something like this. It's not as overwhelming. And I get to know, maybe 4, 5, 6, 7 people a lot better than I would have at a bigger conference when I run into them for 2 minutes, and that's it. And there's a ton of value. And if you want to call it ROI, which is probably a weird term to use for this, but it's the one everyone knows. Like, I just get way more at a conference like around this size where it's a few hundred versus like a few thousand.
And you think about that, like, it's not cliquish. It is really an opportunity for you to partner with people who are doing incredible things, like Anita from Zapier or Angela Reese from Tinder. Actually, wait a minute, that's not true. I met Angela at a SourceCon about 6 years ago, and I haven't seen her since the pandemic. But this is really going to be a very interesting, very deliberate conversation in the room with individuals who are actually doing the work. People like yourself, people like Danny Rojas. I mean, I want this conference to be next week, but I got to wait 2 weeks.
It's okay. It's okay. We'll be all right. Well, I think we're gonna make it. You're doing plenty of work right now to keep you busy. You're also going to be hosting a panel on the building a compliant and responsible AI hiring strategy. Why are you hosting this panel in specific? This topic specifically.
So when I was talking to Josh about some of the people that we should have at the conference, and again, shout out to Joshua Jones, he's the architect of all this.
Does a great job.
That one of the things that I said to him was, "Hey, dude, everybody's talking about using AI, or they're saying they're using AI. Are we doing it in a fair and equitable way?" And that's why one of the things that we sought out the conversation with Dr. Daniel Susskind. And I know that that's ancillary to the question you asked, is that we want to be able to have a conversation about what people are doing and how they're being responsible and the legalities that are involved with that. So I'm joined by Jenny Cody Kangas, who I already shouted out, and Danielle. We're going to have a conversation. Danielle is going to really focus on the equity component of the conversation, how we're going to attack this, how we're going to have a bigger conversation from a legal standpoint, not from a thought leader, I think this could work standpoint, but really putting into the ether, putting into the conversation what is actually factually legal and what is illegal and where the line is. There was a panel that I went to about a year and a half ago where you had a lot of thought leaders who were talking about how they could do fantastic things with AI. One of the questions that I've always asked as a sourcer is, did this information come from an ethical place, from an ethical source? Did I overstep a line? So let's have that conversation with Danielle. Let's have that conversation with Jenny about where the line is, where we're going, what we can do, what the future looks like, and how we can build that way in a fair, equitable, and ethical fashion.
It's been one of the interesting thing about hosting this series is I come from the small business world. I mean, one-man shops, 5 people, 10, 15, 20, and I avoid a lot of the corporate red tape. I on purpose, kind of why I do my own thing, but talking to people that have been at the big corporations, you've been there. I mean, up until recently, a lot of the challenges with the red tape and with people using AI with, company computers and information and everything else, like just something I haven't makes sense once I hear it. It's not necessarily part of my day to day. I think that's it's just been really interesting. I'm excited to learn more about that, which is kind of weird because it's like law and legal and compliance, but it's legitimately interesting. I mean, it's revolutionizing our day to day. And I am interested in kind of what those challenges are because to me, it's simple. It's like get on LinkedIn, you post on LinkedIn, you do outreach, right? You connect with people that you need to connect with, right? You use some AI assisted, but it's just not that cut and dry for the majority of people out there.
Well, so let's think about this for just a quick second from both an agency perspective and from a corporate perspective. Clark, I know that you work with some really well-established brands, that you have great conversations, and a lot of what you talk about is negotiated under an NDA. The case that I would point to is that Samsung, of all companies, banned ChatGPT among its employees and couldn't be on corporate devices, and other AI chatbots. I don't want to single out ChatGPT, after somebody loaded a check or used it to QA their software, right? And when you talk about that, they leaked trade secrets. My question is, as recruiters, as we're agency recruiters and we're putting things into these GPTs, as we're corporate recruiters, we're putting things into these GPTs, what is fair and equitable use, and where are we legally responsible for things that go into the soup? That's what I'm hoping to get out of this conversation. That's what I'm going to deliver for you. That's how I'm going to make sure that we stay safe and compliant, whether you're on the in-house side or whether you are in agency land. That is my agenda.
I love it. I'm ready to see you bring the heat, but I got to ask him, pivot gears a little bit.
Maple syrup. That's what I put in my hair to make it stand up, Clark.
Okay. Well, now we can move on to the next topic because I've been waiting 13 minutes to figure out the answer to that question. As you're singing Jimmy Eat World to me, I knew something was going on. That's what it is. A little spice this morning. You're for people that don't know, you're master of Boolean sourcing. I mean, you have your custom search engine that you've built, everything way before AI was in the picture. From the master himself, how are you looking at AI? I guess from a kind of a sourcing perspective, Boolean, how someone like you incorporating AI into your workflow, right? We've talked to like the beginners, but I want to hear kind of from the expert, like what's that high level, integration look like?
Okay, so first off, I am using the Comet browser to index, if you want to call it, or to do generative engagement optimization. GIO, not GEO, not general. And all right, let me get past this crap. All right, so here's what we're doing: is that we're using the Comet browser And we're using it in such a fashion that I say, show me the top 25 AI engineers who work for company X and their email addresses. I put that into the comment browser. Using the assistant function, it'll flip through and do that search repetitively on LinkedIn and pull that information back without violating any of the terms of service for me, so that I don't get caught or I don't get banned. And when people say, well, Brian, you're paying for Perplexity, here's the funny thing is, if you apply, this is not a plug, but if you apply for a Venmo debit card, you get Perplexity Pro for free for a year. That's $240 that you're saving, and you're using it to amplify your workflow. So I'm really focused on agentic workflows. That's one of the reasons why I'm excited to get with Larry Hernandez and see what he's doing. That's one of the reasons why I'm excited about having the ethics conversation that I'm going to have with Danielle. And that's one of the reasons why I'm excited about 7 use cases that Kyle Lagunas is going to lay out for the utilization of AI. So that is how I'm using it. Clark, all of your listeners, everybody in the community knows Friday afternoon from 12 p.m. Eastern to 4 p.m. Eastern, I do 30-minute blocks where I meet with the community. I talk one-on-one. I'm not pitching anything. I'm not selling anything. I'm trying to solve problems. It's my way of giving back, standing on the shoulders of people who have given back like Shally, people who have given back like Shannon, people who have given back like Steve Levy or Steve Rath, and just making that open. So if somebody wants to see me do this at ERE and I'm in the hallway, come find me. Let's get it on. Let's take on those big searches. Let's nail that shit.
I love it. I mean, that's pretty cool. It's 4 hours of your Friday. Just anyone, just book a call, right?
Just
And
book a call.
talk shop.
Just book a call. Yeah, that's it.
You better have a full calendar if you don't already, booked out to the end of the year after we release this. And if you don't by then, you definitely will by the end of ERE, that's for sure. Because that's a huge value add. I've gotten a ton just from our 30-minute talks here and there, hour talks here and there. It's been super impactful. So if you're listening, you haven't book one right now. And we'll have Brian's LinkedIn on the episode summary and page. And all
it's real simple. I'm linkedin.com/in/Brian Fink. Just one word. Let's go.
Let's just make it happen. Make it happen. So you are a beacon of energy and optimism in a time where recruiters, whether it's agency or corporate, a lot of them maybe are walking on eggshells, a little bit nervous about what tomorrow's going to bring and what's happening today. You and I are both glass half full type people. I think you might be glass all the way full all the time person, which is great, even better. Like, give us the Brian Fink, like, where's the hope? Where's the optimism? What should everyone be excited about, whether agency or corporate, about how they can be involved, participate, and be successful, right, in the next 5, 10, 15 years with all these changes going on in our world?
Clark, that's a really impressive question. I think it comes down to 4 things that I talk about probably pretty routinely. I refer to them as the core 4 elements that you have to have as a recruiter. They're based on the 4 core lessons that I feel that different people named Steve have taught me. Steve Rath, Steve Levy, Steve Fink, my dad, and Steve Jobs, who sometimes I put on a turtleneck and I try to emulate him at night. That's a topic for another story.
Eating an apple.
The reality is the 4 core values: curiosity, empathy, tenacity, and a little bit of mischievousness is what you need to succeed as a recruiter. You have to ask great questions. You have to put candidates first. Derek Zeller of blessed memory. Derek always said in a great essay about, hello, my name is candidate. You've got to put them front and center. Pete Radloff gave that talk at a SourceCon. Very powerful. That's the kind of power that you're going to tap into at ERE. Tenacity, that ability to run through walls, to go further for a candidate, to go further for a client, to do one more thing. That's what I base a lot of what I do on, because my dad always said that you got to leave it all out on the floor, but you got to give one more to it. You got to do one more than the next guy or the next gal. And then mischievousness. Look, you look at that grin that Steve Jobs has on a lot of his advertising, right? You know there's something mischievous. You know there's something about disrupting the status quo. Don't think that you have to do things the way that they've always been done, because if you do, you're always going to get what you've always gotten. Yeah. And in a sea of sameness, break out, find a blue ocean, get to your destination, and your destination should be your ERE in San Diego the first week in November. Let's go.
I mean, I'm glad I asked. I'll put it that way. It's a great response. The fourth one being mischievous a little bit, like mischievous, as you said. That I think that's the underrated one in my book. I think you have to have that a little bit to be a lot bit, maybe to be innovative, to kind of go to the new wave and kind of just be, not be the status quo, to your point. And I think there's a great opportunity to kind of get your voice out there nowadays. I mean, I know AI is taking the reins and people are using it to post content and all that, but man, even go the other way. I mean, there's more power to me just writing something out and posting it and getting it out there and kind of getting thoughts and see how people respond. You can get market feedback so quickly now. And I think that's where you get a lot of the innovations, right? Like going out, getting that feedback, listening, paying attention, right? You have 4 hours a week that you're doing that with people. I'm sure the insights that you're gleaning and how you're able to kind of validate some things that you're doing and everything else. It's like, that's how you stay innovative, right? You're interacting with people, you're participating in the community, in the world, not just being like,
100.
AI and getting in that, eco, like that lane, but it's like use AI to actually spend more time interacting with people and like learning more and kind of having it work hand in hand.
I would never have been as good at sourcing nurses. Nurses is not my core business.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, let me flip this around. I never would have been as good as sourcing on Instagram if it wasn't for office hours and helping people source for nurses. I have experimented, I've played, I've gotten my messaging down, I've got my AIs working in there. Those 4 hours and the 2 days that you're going to spend in San Diego are going to be powerful. They're going to unlock. We're going to do a lot of mischievous things.
I love it. And then a little karaoke too.
Karaoke, yeah.
Karaoke. So I love it. As we wrap up, any last, I mean, you're giving us tons of words of encouragement and reasons to either to go in San Diego for sure, or at least attend the event virtually, and go virtual this time and get in person next time. Any last words of wisdom or encouragement?
Do the hackathon, right? You can do it virtually. You can do it in the room. You will be surprised what you know, what you will learn from others, the questions that you will get into. Ben Solomon is putting together that along with, why can I not think of, oh man, I'm sorry. Like I just totally coughed.
You got Ben Solomon, Seth Davis, and Michael Roman. Yeah.
Okay, I was thinking of Seth Davis. I was like, dude, Seth is going to kill me, right? Like, he's going to run me over in the Rivian. But that's that's a story for another time. Clark, I just say, look, go attend, connect with people online, look for the silver lining in all the clouds, because right now it is a dark time in recruiting. I know that. I'm not stupid. There are a lot of people who are preaching negativity, that things are over. Let me get with you. Let me help you. Let me help you grow what you're doing, what you're building. And that is the message that I've got about everybody who's attending at ERE, the Recruiting Innovation Summit.
That's a key word. Well, Brian Fink, managing partner at the WeWork Group. Congrats on going off on your own. Excited for you to host this event. You are going to light this place up, and I'm excited for it.
Light it up, light it up, light it up, light it up. Little karaoke preview. All right,
hey,
sir.
I think we know. Live band karaoke. If you don't go for the talks, go for Brian Fink's performance. Brian,
go for Jim Stroud's live karaoke.
Oh, that too.
Whatever.
He's pretty good too.
Good. Yeah.
He's pretty good too. And so thank you. Thank you for being here. I'm excited to see you in a couple of weeks and officially meet in person. Make sure to give us a follow, like, subscribe, follow Brian. Book a call with him Fridays 12 to 4 Eastern. Find a half an hour slot and level up your game. And make sure to come hang out with us at ERE. Until next time,
Let's do it. Innovation. Let's
hunting. Keep innovating. Thanks, man.
Thank you.